Good morning and welcome to the Zach Ratliff Show. I'm Zach. Thanks for being with me, and we're going to get right into it. I'd like to start off by thanking God for this platform and all He does in my life. And then I'd like to thank Mortgage Financial here in Texarkana. I believe they're the number one mortgage lender in our area. Last I saw, so I don't know why that would have changed. So Mortgage Financial, I appreciate their support. Then Elmwood Custom Goods, I appreciate their support. For this, check out their website and see what they can do for you. And then Church on the Rock, Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org. And without these three organizations, this show wouldn't be what it is. From the support that I get from them, and I just appreciate it, and I appreciate you all supporting them as you go about your day. Okay, let's get into this. I sent this to myself yesterday at 2:15. Some more has developed since then. It says, this is from the New York Times. Iran coordinated the attack with Qatar to minimize casualties. Perfect. And then I'm sure you've seen it reported or heard it reported. Iran symbolically needed to strike back at the U.S. To give an off ramp. Okay, I'm okay with that. Hey, we're gonna do this. We need to make it look okay for the crazies in our camp. But we're done. So awesome. Good job. This is what overwhelming force looks like at times. Donald Trump tried peace, gave them ultimatums. When they didn't do what was needed, he dropped the hammer. Now, what's funny about that is we've always given them ultimatums. Obama, Biden, all the guys. But there was no repercussions, right? We were a toothless lion or a paper lion. Or paper tiger, whatever they call it. There were serious repercussions. Look, they have, to my understanding, and once again, they don't invite me to the meetings on this, but they had Russia's air defense systems, or at least some from Russia. And, it was always reported that they had great air defense systems. When we flew across the world without being noticed by anyone, sent, bombs the size of buses down a chimney and flew home and then told you about it when we were through, that changes the game. That's why we have to be the strongest, most BA military in the world. Like, okay, we're done. We're going home. We didn't try to take over. We didn't try to rule them. We just let them know, we need you to come to the table on this, or this is going to get... that's what happened with World War II. The Japanese were a fierce fighting force. They were violent. They had no quit in them. They were warriors. They were never going to give up. So we had to drop the two bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to let them know, like, this only gets worse, right? 250,000 people saved. How many? How many lives were saved the last weekend by dropping these numerous bunker buster bombs? How many Iranian lives? How many Israeli lives? Potentially how many American lives? I'm okay with it. And I said for that, hey, if we make limited strikes, I'm okay with that. But if not, I'm okay with it. I was okay with it. I just didn't want boots on the ground, and I don't think there's going to be now. So there's that. Then you get this from Graham Allen on X.com. Iran just blinked. Trump revealed all the neocons, warmongers, and fake MAGA. I think that's true. Oil prices went down, stocks went up, no World War III. Peace through strength. That's what we voted for. That's what we wanted. We don't need to try to take over the world. We just need to do what we say we're going to do. The Democrats and the left side of the country can't understand this. And I don't know why. It's like if you go to the weight room or football field or whatever sport you were a part of, or martial arts. There's always one guy's like, hey, don't mess with me. And there were some guys that said, hey, don't mess with that guy. And there was always somebody a little mouthy that would mess with him. And he wouldn't say anything, and he wouldn't say anything. He'd be like, hey, don't do that. And then about the second time he told you, if you did it again, he was going to beat the hell out of you, whether it be in that sport or physically. And you just had to know, that's what we were. Hey, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay, now we have to show you that we can do this. We didn't want to. So I'm good with it. Just moving on. Now, here's this from Red Wave Press and FoxNews.com. Representative Anna Luna reveals that the U.S. Coast Guard in her district of Pinellas County, Florida, intercepted a boat full of Iranian and Russian nationals attempting to enter the U.S. illegally from the Bahamas. Here's the deal. We know it's reported there are 8,000 people free in our country that came from terrorist hotbeds around the world that the Biden administration led. Look, we have opened ourselves up to attacks. That's part of this border thing. That's part of where we are. We have to consider it prayerfully. We have to pray for the safety of our country. But we have to know that there are people that want to kill us to make a point. And that's why we had to shut down the border, so we don't look like a third world nation. So, and that's the point. Then it comes out, yesterday I sent this to myself at 5 o'clock. Congratulations from Donald Trump on Truth Social. Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed upon between Israel and Iran that there's a complete and total ceasefire. Approximately 6 hours from then they had 12, basically 36 hours. It was what they had to make all this happen. Now look, once again, these two religions that are in Iran and Israel have been at war for thousands of years. Iran and Israel have been at odds for a long time here in modern times. Do I think it's all going to just be, everybody's going to give each other a hug and pat each other on the butt and be okay? No. Are there going to be some outliers that try to instigate and make things not be peaceful? Yes. Is some of this showmanship from Trump? Probably. But is he ordering the deck like he needs it in order to pull off the greatest trick ever, which is having them both come to the table? Yes. This is huge. From people telling us there's going to be World War III, to them even thinking about talking about peace, to them calling Qatar, be like, hey, we have to shoot these rockets. But look, this is not an attack. That's a big deal. Strength in the executive office brings peace around the world. The whole time Biden was in office, and for the 2 years I was on the radio, I was saying weakness in the executive of the U.S. creates chaos around the world. And now you're needing a strong man to come in and fix it. What we can't do is lose focus. We can't lose his back right now. Now, if he does something that we don't feel that, yeah, call him out. And I'm there with you. But we have to know what's happening. We have to be behind this man. And as long as he's doing what we want. But he ain't going to make us happy 100% of the time. If he did, it wouldn't be right. But we can't be jumping ship. That's the problem with Republicans. They're only with you when you don't need them. I need somebody that's going to ride or die with me sometimes. Hey, you got to trust where we're going. And when I voted for Donald Trump, I put my trust that he was going to consult God and hopefully he would get it right. Not every time, because I don't think he will. That's where we have to be. All right. And as you know, I'm just going to go through these articles as I get to them, so I'll circle back to some of this stuff. Politico.com, Senators Lee and Scott head to the White House for talks on the mega bill. This is showing that the Senate's wanting to work on getting this big, beautiful bill passed. That's what we need. Let's get some of this domestic agenda done. Let's get these tax cuts made permanent. Let's move forward. Let's go with these Doge cuts. Let's start making it happen. And then if Jerome Powell will get off his hands and make it happen, he's a Trump hater. I've been calling it for over a year that he was a Trump hater. I was saying this time last year that if Trump won, Jerome Powell would not lower the interest rates. I even said that I thought he would raise interest rates, which the economy's doing so well, I'm not sure he can. But it just is what it is. He lowered interest rates this time last year, trying to give Kamala Harris a chance. Donald Trump's at war for us against the rest of the world, both inside our country and out. We got to ride with him. Tim Burchett yesterday came out and said, we just passed a bill to defund the Taliban in the House. That's right. That's on Ian Yeager on X.com. That's one of the things that was discovered through Doge. We were paying, was it, I don't remember if it was $3 million a month or $30 million a month to the Taliban to have their offices and all people that hate us. We're at war with Taliban, or have been for 20 years, and we've been paying their way? How crazy is that? It's just ridiculous. Anyway, good. I hope the Senate carries that on. I'm sure Donald Trump will sign it. It's a wild thing. Then this is back to the Iran updates. This is Kayleigh McEnany. Excuse me. I can't make it work. On X.com, and then she was on Fox as well. The naysayers said Trump was starting World War III and said we got a ceasefire after destroying Iran's nuclear program. And there are several more Middle East peace deals on the table. And here's the deal. Where were all of Iran's Middle East allies? They don't have any. They too were afraid. Saudi Arabia has long said if Iran got a bomb, they were going to have to get one to be able to protect themselves from Iran. Iran's so fundamentalist that they don't even like the way that Saudi Arabia practices the same religion. It'd be like if your Baptist friends went and wanted to start a war with your Pentecostal friends because they didn't believe exactly the same. That's Saudi Arabia and Iran. Of course, then the UN comes out and they're going to condemn the actions of President Trump. Listen, I don't care what the UN does. I don't know why we pay for them. They are grifters of our tax dollar. They're on American soil. We need to throw them out. We're all going to get... It's like... I'm a Star Wars fan. It's like the Senate of the Galactic Republic, right? Where they all sit around and say these things, but nothing happens. That's the UN. Except for they want to steal all our money and enrich themselves, and their countries stay poor. It's basically what the U.S. Congress does to us, but also then we give it to the world as well. Then Trump was fired up this morning. Drops the F-bomb on Fox News because, Israel and Iran hadn't quite shut it down yet. And he said, I don't know what the F that they're doing, or they don't know what the F they're doing. That's so wild. And here's the deal. All these Democrats came out over the last month or two, cussing in their press conference and trying to look strong. This man meant it. He said it with passion. I'm not upset that he said it. I use the word when I get upset, too. Sometimes I'm not even upset. But in cases of passion, yeah. This man cares about what he's doing. He has a directive. And so then I was doing my Bible reading this morning. I don't do it every morning. I try to. And so during my quiet time, my prayer time, this is one of the verses that I read. Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, do your work heartily, as for the Lord rather than for men. And I think that's where Donald Trump is. He's like, hey, I'm doing everything in my power to do what he feels. This is Donald Trump. I think he thinks he's doing everything in his power to do what he thinks God's put him on earth to do. And then here are these people messing it up. He's like, they don't even know what the F they're doing. He is about our country. He is about making the world a safer place. I love to see somebody with passion. I love to see somebody that could be doing stuff last night at midnight and then be getting on a plane this morning going across the world. He has enough energy to do that Joe Biden can't spell banana without singing the song. You probably don't know the song. Anyway, it's just wild. So thank God for Donald Trump. We need to be praying for him. We need to be praying for all our leaders. And we need to be praying that God save this country, that he bring us back from the brink of just slipping into the pit of despair that we are. Also, we have to know that God appoints all leaders. So sometimes we get what we deserve. And thankfully for Jesus, we won't in the end get what we deserve. Whew, that's terrifying. Here's another big one. As we know, the Supreme Court came out and said, ruled that Donald Trump could send, send these illegal immigrants to be housed in other countries that they weren't from. 6-3, passed the court. A district judge has now announced that he's going to openly defy the ruling of the Supreme Court. Stephen Miller said, we're gonna see what happens. So I want to see if they're going to arrest this judge or whatever happens. We have to hold these people accountable. They're not our emperor. They're not our ruler. They have to do the will of the people. If they don't, they have to go. All right, everybody. That's my Tuesday update. I'm working on some guests for later in the week. I hope you all have a great day. I hope God blesses each and every one of you. And I'll be back. We'll do it all again tomorrow. God bless you and have a good day.